Hey everybody, this is Brian from the LBCC Library, and librarians are known as being information experts. And I want to talk today a little bit about your information expertise, because believe it or not, you are much more information savvy than you think. First off, let's talk about your college experience. While you're here at LBCC, your faculty are going to expect you to use a lot of different types of information sources in your career field or in your major field, whether they be books, whether they be magazines and journals, whether they be technical publications. Even art is going to have its own specific information resources. And you've got to know them because these specific sources are going to be the tools of your field. That is, when you graduate from LBCC and you begin your career, you're going to be expected to know about these types of information resources, how to access them, and how to use them. You're going to learn about these over the next few years while you're here at LBCC. So what we're going to do today is to talk about the sources you rely upon on a day-to-day basis. What information is important to you? Well, I can tell you what information is important to me. I like sports. I like to ski. I like to snowboard. I like to play volleyball. So information about that is important. Knowing if there's snow in the mountains, knowing the road conditions is important to me. My family is important to me. I live far away from my family in Los Angeles, so knowing information about how they're doing is important. My hobbies. I like to cook. I like listening to music. Even though it's entertainment, it's still information and it's important. I'm a political news junkie, and so my politics are going to be important to me. And finally, I do like to shop and I like a bargain. So finding out the best prices on things, that's important to me. I use this information every day, as do you. And you get it from people who are close to you, as well as external sources around you. So who are those people that are close to you? What are those websites that you go to a lot? And exactly what do you rely upon them for? So we're asking you to do this activity in destination graduation, and really it's just the start of a conversation. The start of a conversation that ends by talking about academic sources. But we're going to talk first about the people in your personal information sphere and what you count on them for. And then talk a little bit about some of the websites, some of the apps, some of the newspapers and magazines that make up your external information sphere. And finally, I'm going to ask you to think about your current profession, your profession as a student. And we'll talk about your past as a student. What information sources have you depended on in the past? What have you had good luck with? Which did you visit time and time again? So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and begin working on my personal sphere. And I've got my friend John, my friend Kyle, I rely upon them a lot for information about outdoors adventuring. They're both my ski and snowboard buddies. Got my friend Jim. I count on him for volleyball information. And my neighbor Judy, she's my hiking partner. I count on her a lot for information about that. I've got my friend Mark. I count on him for political news. My partner Diana for family news. These are members of my family, Cindy and Daryl, down in Los Angeles. And I count on them for family news. And let's see what else. Well, I may come back to that if I can remember things. My external sphere. Well, I look at CNN a lot, so I'm going to list that for news. I read the New York Times for news. The same goes for the LA Times. There's a website I like to visit a lot called bentrideronline.com. And it provides me bicycle information. This next website, tripcheck.com. That is really important to me for road conditions. I use Google Shopping a lot just to check out prices at different stores. And even though I do a lot of shopping at Amazon, I actually rely upon Amazon a lot simply for information because it provides reviews of different things that I might consider purchasing. Now, being a librarian, there's lots of things in my own professional sphere. There's an email list called LibZor. There's a website called Inside Higher Education. Another one called the Chronicle of Higher Education. I do rely a lot on search engines like Google just to find information on different topics. And there's a subset of Google called Google Scholar that I rely upon. Finally, our library databases for full text articles. So we're going to be asking you to go ahead and fill out this particular page in the same manner. Think about some of the people who are close to you and what you rely upon them for. Think about some of the websites that you visit every single day. Even if you think it's mainly for entertainment purposes, believe it or not, you're getting information from there. And so you could list those. And then think about some of those academic sources or professional sources you've used in the past. Have you relied upon Time Magazine? Go ahead and list that. Have you depended upon the Gazette Times? Feel free to list that. Do you use Wikipedia on a regular basis? Feel free to list that. And then we'll talk a little bit about these sources inside your class, and then how you utilize them, especially those academic and professional sources.